Black, yellow, red, very significant colors to who we are as the Republic of Uganda. Of course, black stands for our ethnicity and who we are as black people of Africa. The yellow stands for the beautiful sun that does actually empower our soils to give us what we have. And the red stands for brotherhood as Ugandans. Welcome to UBC's News Roundup. This is the 10th of October 2021 and my name is Priscila Nalwoga, here to take you through everything that has happened in the nation over the past 7 days. Starting off with President Museveni earlier this week, having said government is strengthening laws governing the movement of people outside the country. He was responding to the concerns by Ugandans living in the United Arab Emirates on the increasing number of Ugandans being trafficked to the UAE. This was during a meeting at St. Regis Hotel in Abu Dhabi, where he was for Dubai Expo earlier this week. Here are the details to this story.
President Museveni has completed his 3-day working visit of the United Arab Emirates with a meeting of the Association of Ugandans living in the UAE. Major issues affecting them, notably trafficking, especially of girls, were discussed with the president, promising shelters and legislation.
Juzi twali tukyogerako mu lukiiko lwa gavumenti ne tukiriziganya okukola ennyumba gy'oyogeddeko eya shelter. Tuteekewo shelter abaana gye basobola okubeera paid for by the government, abaana gye musobola kubakuumira, ekyo twakikiriziganyako. Ate n'ebiragiro byonna bagenda kubiteeka mu nkola twabiyisa.
The association chairperson Nsubuga Abdul Basit reminded the president of a 2014 $50,000 pledge to help with administrative functions. The president promised to deliver the pledge with a further $100,000 for a SACCO.
Emitwalo 5 yakudukanya kibiina. Emitwalo 10 yentobo
y'okwewola mu SACCO,
ku nsawo y'okutereka n'okwewola. Bas.
He reminded those with bigger business dreams that they are open to the Uganda Development Bank concessional loans to boost export-oriented trade.
Okay, now if you are big business people and you are exporting, then you need a different window. You not use the kasako of bazukurubanga abanakunaku. Kana kasako kabanakunaku bange naye gwe mugagga nga gwe kati gwe tukuteeka mu UDB nti UDB ekuweeyo okuwola ukamagwa amasamusamu. You said you are a rich man, you?
Not yet there, but I'm on the way.
You are on the verge of poor and rich.
Ndiyo muhanda.
Olukunsala wawo.
Ndiyo muhanda ho.
Okay, kati naye gwe ono yetaga UDB. Because export, UDB is a government bank funding industries, agriculture, export-oriented trade. So this one can be handled by UDB. Because there you may need more money. Not just in Kumitano, you may need $500,000, $1 million.
There are over 60,000 Ugandans living and working in the UAE, and they send home over $200 million per year.
Uganda is expected to get over $8 million out of the Dubai Expo when it finally closes 6 months down the road. But still, in this week, we had President Museveni commending the religious leaders for following the good path of harmony in Uganda. Museveni was speaking at the 23rd National Prayer Breakfast held at the State House under the theme Responsibility Before God and Man, and he said the National Resistance Movement, NRM, had to reject other parties with sectarian beliefs and follows the line of God. The National Prayer Breakfast, hosted by the Speaker of Parliament, was attended by top government officials and the clergy. Here is what transpired.
Every year, Parliament organizes the National Prayer Breakfast ahead of the 9th October Independence Day anniversary celebrations. Since the outbreak of COVID-19, the interfaith annual event has been held at State House to limit the number of physical participants, and Ugandans fall on mainstream and social media. In his keynote address, Right Reverend Johnson Twinomujuni, Bishop of West Ankole Diocese, urged the faithful to promote what pleases God.
Don't forget at any moment that he is our chief employer, as I said. Protect the vulnerable. Fight for the oppressed. Promote justice and equity. Love and care about the needy. The Lord shall be pleased with you and shall reward your goodness to his people. God is just. And I can derive from the Bible that the justice of God is either retributive or remunerative. He rewards the faithful. He also punishes sinners.
Addressing the gathering, President Museveni said Uganda will never return to the religious conflicts that affected Uganda's development in the past between 1877 and 79.
And then 1879, the Catholics came. Father Lauder and another one, Brother Amiens. Within this is 1877, 79, but you can imagine by 1890, after just 13 years, Christians were fighting one another here, and Muslims. Total confusion. I don't know how our people could agree to be manipulated like that. Killing one another. The Catholics were called Bafaransa, that they were French. Because you are Catholic, you are French. The Protestants were called Ingereza, that they were English. And the Muslims were called Mohammedans.
He said this was part of their struggle to bring total peace and harmony.
And actually, this is part of the NRM struggle. We rejected this. Said, we can't accept this. This is wrong. We rejected it politically. That's why in 1965, some of us left the old parties, left DP, left UPC, forgot about Kabaka. We never belonged to Kabaka Yeka. Kabaka Yeka was just especially confused. And we started the new line. The line of Jesus, actually, in politics.
Despite of the undertaking of a good path exhibited by the Interreligious Council of Uganda, President Museveni says many countries are still engaged in conflicts under the guise of working for God.
In Yemen, in Lebanon, in Iraq, all those countries, much of the problem is that confusion in people's heads when they say they are working for God, when in fact they are off the point, doing other things which are anti-people. And I thank the message, because the message seems now to be coming. Even the Interreligious Council, I don't know how you formed it. Did you learn from NRM or you had formed it before?
Speaker of Parliament Jacob Olanya, working closely with his deputy Anita Monk-Annett, pledged hope in government deliver on its promises.
Your Excellency, the parliament that you will have now will not be like any parliament you have worked with before. It is our commitment to help you as a parliament, being head of the executive and head of the country, to help you in the service of our people. We will not lose focus, we will not lose sight, we will keep our eyes on the ball, that whatever we do must bring reward, must resonate with the lives of the ordinary people.
Present at the prayers were top government officials, security chiefs, heads of religious leaders, among others.
We commit our nation into your hands as we move forward into the new wave of glory that you are releasing to us. Please continue to walk with us and be our God, and allow us always to be your people. We praise and bless you, Lord. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen.
Bernard Higa, UBC News.
Well, the Archbishop there, Kazimba, giving an emphatic reminder that our chief employer is God, which brings remnants to the fact that our motto is for God and my country. Still following up on the president in this very same week, he urged Ugandans to respect wealth creators through maintaining peace for facilitating a big market for them. Museveni was speaking at Kololo Independence Grounds as Uganda marked her 59th anniversary. This year's theme was celebrating our 59th Independence Day as we secure our future through the national mindset change.
You can see this is the aura that brings in His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Dr. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
By 9 a.m., President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni arrived at Kolo Independence Grounds as chief guest for the 59th Independence Anniversary and later inspected the Guard of Honor mounted by the armed forces.
Oh, Mama, the First Lady, you are also welcome, Bambi. We love you.
As the norm, a march passed in slow and quick time ensued. President Museveni said despite the COVID-19 pandemic, the economy has not suffered a big setback.
It was able to achieve a modest rate of growth. By end of June 2022, our GDP will be standing at US dollars about 41 billion by foreign exchange method, and at US dollars 117 billion by the PPP method, purchasing power parity method.
This, according to President Museveni, is without the contributions of the first oil expected in 2025.
First oil to be pumped out of the ground will be achieved by 2025 because all the agreements have been signed. All these achievements are in spite of the corruption of some public officials, including some political actors. I congratulate the whistleblowers who patriotically expose these criminals parasites and traitors to their own people.
He says this is in addition to the work done by the Operation Wealth Creation and other wealth creation programs.
I congratulate the Operation Wealth Creation for, in the last 8 years, helping us to reduce abakorera ekida kyonka subsistence actors from 68% of the households to now 39%, according to the latest UBC survey. Let us use the parish model, parish development model, or the Myoga program to convert all these into operators in the money economy with Echibaro.
Referring to United States of America as a young nation, Museveni called upon Ugandans to respect and support wealth creators and maintain peace.
To consolidate peace durably, expand and strengthen the ranks of the wealth creators, we must ensure that the wealth creators are more in number. Right from the beginning, the NRM emphasized the point of protecting life and property. It was actually point number 2 in the 10 points program. And it is principle number 3 in the 4 principles of the NRM, which is socio-economic transformation. You cannot transform society without wealth creation. The USA, which is a new country, only born long after our own fratricidal actors of 1520 AD in the persons of Olimi, Ruitamahanga, Nyabugaro, and Nakibinge, is now a superpower. This new country, which was created long after our little kings here, is now a superpower. Why? Partly for the very reasons I have been telling you in this speech. Respecting the wealth creators, creating a big market for them through integrating the former British colonies into the nucleus of the USA in 1776, ensuring peace, etc.
This year's theme, celebrating our 59th independence as we secure our future through national mindset change, is drawn from the 2021 to 2026 NRM manifesto, Securing Our Future, that delivered President Museveni his 6th elective term of office.
The NRM always believes in reconciliation. However, reconciliation must be around healthy principles that can create growth and transformation, not stagnation and sterility. Let us not repeat old mistakes. Africa has suffered enough. The future is bright if we act right.
Bernard Yiga, UBC News, Colorado.
Thank you, Bernard Yiga, for that report. And indeed, the parade never ceases to amaze. In case you missed out on the celebrations, you can head over to our YouTube channel, which is UBC Television Uganda, and be able to replay it and hear the entire speech. But it was business as usual for Kampala city residents as they carried out their daily work normally, despite the big independence celebrations that were going on at the Kololo Independence Ground. This was mainly because the bars and other places of entertainment are still in lockdown, and therefore most people decided to engage themselves into business. Let's take a look at how this happened.
Uganda became independent 50 years ago on the Tuesday of 9th October 1962. People put on their Sunday best and celebrated for over 24 hours. The jovial mood was all over the faces of Ugandans present at the time, and it pulled off jubilations and partying across the entire country. Today marks 59 years since Uganda attained self-rule and governance, and on this day, it has always been memorial amongst Ugandans in the country and abroad. However, the day's mood has been so low due to COVID-19 pandemic that has hit hard the entire world for the past 2 years. In Kampala, it has been normal business as many people made it to the city to do their daily work to earn a living, since entertainment places are shut due to COVID-19.
Twabasanyufu mu nsi yaffe nnyo singa twalina omu akola wano naye essaawa zino sooka otumye Kampala yenna muggule. Embeera yali nnungi naye kati embeera mbi, bwavu bungi, toyinza kutuula waka wala oba tokoze tolya. Naye luli ebiseera by'edda twali bulungi nnyo nga buli kimu weekiri, naye essaawa eno tuli baavu ate ebintu biri mu bbeeyi nnene.
Mu kibuga njunya kasende kuba munanze amefuga zinganje sinefuga mefuga gabakama bafa bali waggulu eyo batambula muloke isiyanga abantu kali ngende mefuga abana bali eki zeri mufuna mpola agetaga nakyusibwamo ne bamanya batya mefuga bakirangirira ne bagamba lero public holiday era n'abantu ne bamanya mbo lero lunaku lukulu tuli mu mefuga.
Formerly, many would be planning to go out for parties, but for this particular day it has been a different story, as happening places for nightlife are still locked to curb the spread of COVID-19, which still remains a threat in the world. However, some individuals made it to hide out to celebrate. Okiriji's one in Chibuli was such place in Kampala, where sipping went on as they waited for the day to pass.
Bwe twava ku bazungu bali abatugedda ne batuwa ensi yaffe ekisinga obukulu ffenna kubanga twefuganga badde nga baranga ozira wandibadde zonna zikubyeko naye kati mbeera nayo ensawo enyigirizibwa abantu bandibadde bangi music wandibadde ng'omuwulira kati music taliiko lwambeera eyo abantu bandibadde bangi nnyo.
Leero nga luno nze ensonga gye ndaba enkulu baganda baffe aba security bandituyambyeko luno olunaku ne batatawanya olwokubanga tuli mmeefuga tusaba busabi tetuwodalinze.
Ivan Juko, UBC.
Well, different parts of Uganda did celebrate in different ways the excitement, even amidst COVID-19. Elsewhere, characterized with sense of excitement, is what Ugandan communities felt in the process of celebrating the 59th independence of Uganda. Lack of parades by school children is one thing that management of schools feels disappointed about children who would have participated in marching in this year's independence celebrations. Although Arua district did not participate in mass celebration of the Independence Day as a district, Vura sub-county decided to organize at a sub-county level in which 200 people were invited, including Arua district leaders, in order to celebrate the day at Omogoro.
Newton Odipio, a head teacher of Ewava, is one of the persons who felt something missed due to lack of entertainment and excitement due to no children participating in parades during Independence Day celebrations.
We used to make the day at schools very colorful by pupils' participation in marching, presentations of songs, poems, and many other activities. But as of today, due to this pandemic, we are unable to see all of this. So I call upon whoever is present today to take it as a normal pattern and a change in a life.
According to Enama Speak, the Arua District Scouts Commissioner says failure to have parades is attributed to the COVID-19 pandemic.
As scouts in Arua district, we are really disappointed. We used to parade, we used to stay in a community, we used to dance, we used to do traditional things, but these are all cut off. We are really disappointed. But as this is dangerous disease, we really agree to follow SOPs and presidential directives. We are going to be lenient enough. We wait until schools are reopened.
Arua District Chairman Alfred Okonzu challenged people of Arua District to adhere to the theme of this year's independence celebration, which is all about mindset change for better development.
How can you secure your future? One of the things I brought here is you need to track your spendings. Track your spendings. Send any ngoni. And track your environment. How are you using your environment? And you need to change your behavior of borrowing. Marry, loan uduza. Set short-term goals. Amazidikia yini flatly. LC1, LC2, LC3, LC5. But you need to think now. Mindset change must start now.
For a county member of parliament, Yovan Adrico called upon leaders of lower local government to cooperate with district leaders in order to achieve the government's efforts of securing the future of Ugandans.
Nothing stops reggae, nothing stops a celebration here in Uganda. But away from the celebrations of the independence, we now get to look at the Vice President, Major Jessica Alupo, this very same week, commending efforts and innovation by the National Enterprise Corporation. She said that these will go a long way towards the country's import substitution and export promotion strategy. The Vice Presidency Press Unit was there and shares the strategy with us.
President said that products of the facility meet regional and external standards and urged the management of NEC to continue on research to even supersede the current standards threshold to compete favorably on the international scale. The Vice President said she was optimistic that many local industrialists are now sourcing spare parts of replacements from the factories, which she said will guarantee sustainability of production and solve interruptions and need for machine-serviceable parts for the country's increasing industries, reduce expenditure and reliance on foreign spares.
What you are doing here is enabling now government to pursue our desire of import substitution and export promotion. Because many of the products that you are producing, we used to import many of them. And by achieving that the objective of import substitution and export promotion, it means a lot of foreign exchange is now injected into our economy by a certain percentage through Luero Industries.
According to the Managing Director, Luero Industries, Major General Stephen Sabiti, the facility produces defense products and multi-purpose machinery, including ballistics and explosives by Choga Dynamics Center, used in making dams, roads, bridges, and also makes armored vehicles. The facility also produces gas and liquid oxygen and nitrogen that has greatly sustained the need for oxygen supply for COVID patients in many hospitals around the country. Other facilities include hazardous electronic and medical waste management, mineral water line, Kira Motors assembly plant, pharmaceuticals, beef canning facility, carpentry section, and helicopter assembling wing. According to Major General Stephen Sabiti, the industries are run in a partnership with governments of China, Ukraine, and Russia, whose delegations alongside UPDF and the Ministry of Defense high-ranking officials joined the Vice President during the visit. Reporting for UBC TV News, Stephen Kanakulia Sempa.
Thank you so much, Stephen Kanakulia Sempa. Personally, I can't wait to sit in a Kira Motor assembled vehicle. Away from that, leaders in Karamoja this week called for heavy mobilization of elders, women, warriors, among others, and forming committees which will, with guidelines that it will end insecurity in the region. This was revealed during a security meeting that was between security officials and the leaders of Moroto and Napak district, whose Deputy Chief of Uganda People's Defense Forces, Lieutenant General Elwelu, was seeking for solutions to end insecurity, especially in Karamoja.
The Deputy Chief of Defense Forces, Lieutenant General Peter Elwelu, is visiting Karamoja, where he is interacting with ground forces and the communities to ensure cattle rustling is stopped. Peter Elwelu has met with leaders of Napak and Moroto districts to see how to address insecurity challenge in the region. Elwelu says the region is of great importance to government due to its political and economic location.
The coal, the line, the marble, everything around here, around this, and even what we have not known, which is underground here, a lot. This region is very, very important.
Leaders expressed concern on the influence of war gene, also known as warrage among warriors, concealment of the criminals by the locals, and criminal alliances among clans.
By us, the people you know them, but the problem is not to come out and say that son of so and so is causing the problem. He has a gun, but you are quiet.
It's the agency gun more than even an helicopter. When a warrior has taken his warrant, it is like a stone.
Leaders point fingers at some errant officers of the UPDF and neighboring countries of Kenya and South Sudan as the source of the firearms.
Bullets used by these people is Uganda army. It's not Sudan army. So we must also look into that.
There is an expensive gun called Nakazangwa. 10 million to come from the traders. All those who bring food here, some of them are agents of guns. Guns are coming from the cross-border at a cost of 5 cows, 7.
The former chairperson Moroto District, Andrew Napaja, wants sub-county chiefs brought on board for a viable solution to the cattle rustling phenomena.
They will give you relevant information. They are more informed than the RCs. They know the new breed of warriors now.
Leaders want mobilization committees to be put in place with guidelines.
Mobilization. I don't want us to depend on the NGOs. NGO can come when it is willing. I want you to go to Mzee, tell him the time we started the first disarmament, local governments were empowered, MPs were empowered, vehicles were brought here to mobilize.
Can we also have the committees and mobilization, the guidelines, in case a warrior hurts the soldiers in the field? What measures do you put in place? In case the soldier misbehaves, we know the mistakes they did. I'm an experienced person. What measures do you put in place?
The 3rd Division Commander, Brigadier General Balikudembe, says they are challenged by politicians who always protect suspects.
That the leaders are there as lawyers to speak on behalf of the people who are even some of them criminals. This is the point blank.
Elwelu promised to work on issues raised by stakeholders for sustainable peace in the region.
Where do these vehicles pass that bring alcohol into Karamoja? Do we always have accountability? Do we check on our soldiers what they have?
Ever since Usalama kwa Wote was rolled out in July this year, 86 guns have been recovered with Moroto, Kotido, Napak and Kabong leading in voluntary disarmament. Moriniga, Helen Barbara, reporting for UBC TV News.
The first Deputy Prime Minister who concurrently serves as Minister for East African Community Affairs, Rebecca Kadaga, this week assured East African member states that in the year 2024, East Africa will have gotten a single currency for the community. Kadaga was addressing members of the 16th Annual Trade and Investment Conference, where she interested members in investing in Uganda. We went there, and here is the report.
I'm happy to report that this African community has made major strides
First through the customs union, then the common market protocol. The common market envisages the free movement of goods, of services, of labor, of capital, as well as the right of residence and the right of establishment. This gives an opportunity for an investor to operate within this large market of nearly 200 million people. We have issues of unemployment, but I look at this as an opportunity. We have over 25 universities in the country, as well as several other tertiary institutions. Consequently, we have a large pool of highly educated Ugandans who are available for and adaptable for employment. So I look at that as an opportunity that you can take advantage of to invest in Uganda. We have an opportunity to manufacture industrial sugar to support the pharmaceutical industry. That's another opportunity. However, we still have a low per capita GDP, present at $932 by the end of 2021, which is below the 1,039 required for the nation to attain the middle income status.
The head of State House Anti-Corruption Unit, Colonel Edith Nakalema, this week re-emphasized the need for public servants to follow principles of leadership while performing their duties. Colonel Nakalema made these very same remarks during a lecture for Uganda Revenue Authority officials in integrity, transparency, and accountability, and this was at the National Leadership Institute in Chankwanzi. As Daniel Maguire reports, about 267 URA staff for the last 1 month have been undergoing a training on leadership skills at the National Leadership Institute in Chankwanzi.
At the National Leadership Institute, Chankwanzi, a stranger will need to do a double take to differentiate between a civilian and a military officer. These smartly dressed officers showcasing military skills, including civilian marksmanship and physical fitness, are from Uganda Revenue Authority. Their faces can tell the pride and honor in the Chiboga district environment.
These are skills which everyone would need. And in most cases, when they come here, they really appreciate.
267 supervisors from Uganda Revenue Authority have for the last 1 month been undergoing refresher training on leadership skills aimed at fostering economic transformation in Uganda.
Will your individual values impact on the values of Uganda Revenue Authority?
Colonel Edith Nakalema, one of the regular lecturers at the National Institute of Leadership, Chankwanzi, engaged the Uganda Revenue Authority supervisors on lessons regarding integrity, transparency, and accountability while performing respective duties. Colonel Nakalema advised on principles of leadership, including respect of the law, which she says will enable the servants to win public trust and effectively manage public resources.
So, integrity remains the core value, and patriotism must be one of the values that we all must treasure as citizens. And on top of integrity and patriotism, we must be transparent and accountable to the public.
Colonel Nakalema also warned the URA officials on corruption and asked the public to utilize anti-corruption agencies to report any corruption-related cases.
So what you who are holding the most precious, the most valued, the most wanted resource of money, you will be asked to account for your actions, how you handled that precious resource.
John Musinguzi, the Commissioner General of Uganda Revenue Authority, is optimistic that refresher trainings offered to his staff at Chankwanzi will add credit to the skills of revenue collection in Uganda and be able to increase domestic tax base.
In other words, we should be able to raise enough money to run our budget as a nation. That is when we shall be truly independent.
Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Daniel Muger. Now, land grabbing is a growing vice in Uganda, as a 93-year-old man in Chikube district this week petitioned the office of the resident district commissioner Amlan Tumusime, seeking for intervention in a land wrangle with a pastor. Anatoli Rujiramtima, who is also a resident of Kanuchiro village in Chikube district, and his family members said this ancestral land has belonged to them for 81 years and is being grabbed by an area pastor. We went there, and here is the state of the family.
A man in Chikube is accusing an area pastor for illegally grabbing his 64 acres chunk of land where he has lived with his family for 81 years.
Ekyapa kyange ekyo yakisalizemu kagula ekibanja abaana bange balimiramu kagula ekibanja ente zange ekabeerera nki yazo ati yantayirire ntizo zonna zaafu.
Jennifer Kahwa, 36, a granddaughter to Rujirai Tama, asserts that due to the land wrangles, they lost their home and property and therefore want government for their rescue.
Ndubasire galimazima ekyapa pastor Kiebambe akakisaramu mugurusi wange ono akanteka hakiyapa ninyata hamutwe Kahwa Jennifer.
Pastor Chebambe, the accused, denied claims of grabbing land and explained that in 2013 he was given powers of attorney by Omukamo Punyoro Kitara Kingdom, Dr. Solomon Gafausa Iguru, to develop and secure all investment on the land.
It is a big piece of land, so we have just occupied a small piece of land. All the neighbors, I have my neighbors, I have what they're all there. They have Mr. Hairora, who was the former permanent secretary, so he's also my neighbor. We are there. I have Mr. Kanagwa, he's also my neighbor. And they are all on kingdom land, not me alone.
Chebambe says Rujirai Tima filed a case against him in Chief Magistrate's Court in 2013 and also won the appeal case filed at Masindi High Court.
So therefore, I became the rightful occupant through court. It was not just because the king gave me. When the king gave me, then there was a struggle and scuffle. Fightings began. So we went to court. So I went to court and I won the case. It was ruled in my favor. The magistrate in Hoima then went to the High Court. I also won. So I became the rightful occupant.
Chikube Resident District Commissioner Amlan Tumsime expressed concern over tycoons grabbing land from the poor and promised to summon and get a way of settling the dispute.
Yes, it's very unfortunate that someone can call himself a pastor, someone can call himself an official of Nyoro Kitara Kingdom, and he uses those two positions to mistreat people. Why should someone mistreat a 93-year-old man, reaching to the extent of even making the old man's title be cancelled? Moreover, illegal. They are using the former Commission of Land Legislation called the Kolata, Sara Kolata. This is very unfair. This is very unfortunate.
It's a pity. But away from that, a government through the Ministry of Teso of Affairs of this week has honored its pledge of constructing a 4-classroom block, office space, 80 desks and 5 stand-speed latrine as a Jaba Primary School of Sere District worth 244 million shillings. The government-aided school has been operating under trees ever since it was initiated, now aiming to improve its academic performance and the environment of the pupils with the upcoming new structures.
Joba Primary School is a government-aided school in Serere district that had been previously deserted by learners because of its difficult learning conditions. However, it has finally received new structures worth 244 million shillings. Initially, teachers found it challenging to complete the syllabus as pupils used to run out of school whenever it poured.
They just run home. They leave the teachers there.
because even the place itself was not good. When the rains come, there is a lightning and they were fearing. Immediately it starts drizzling, the children have to take off. They run to their homes.
But now the school administration is aiming at enhancing its academic performance and enrollment of pupils since the problem of classrooms has been sorted.
Now that the classrooms have come, I'm highly confident and more sure that we are going to put up the standard of the school up to match with the present status quo of the classrooms.
Teso Affairs State Minister Dr. Kenneth Ongaro Obote, who handed over the structures to the school administration, tasked the parents to work with teachers to translate the value of new structures in terms of better grades.
Education begins with you parents. Yes. Stop blaming teachers. These pupils are here for 8 hours only, 8. Then they come back home for 16 hours. Who is to blame if they don't perform? When he tries to open his book, don't pretend that you are now a serious person in studying. How will the kid revise?
The handover ceremony was graced by the State Minister for Animal Husbandry and Fisheries, Helen Andoa, who advocated for the fencing of the school in order to protect its property and lives of pupils.
If Ajoba now had a fence, it is easy for the school to say, I have seen it in Uganda. They are growing cabbages. On Saturday, children come and pick cabbages, skuma wheat, what, to take to their homes. They would have 2 5 cows here, improved ones. They will be moving around, healthy, because all that grass will be. But when a job is open, everyone brings cows. I don't see new trees here. Because the school tries to plant, the animals come to destroy.
Besides Ajoba Primary School, Serera District is still grappling with the number of dilapidated schools that are in need of renovation before reopening.
One of them is Olio. Another one is the Kateta, another one is the Moratiang. If you went to Kadungulu, there is still a problem, Kadungulu Primary, and many others. We cannot enumerate all. All in all, we can say there is need for classrooms to cater for these learners.
Story compiled by Joseph Okow for UBC News.
Cole, thank you so much. And indeed, we do pat the government on the shoulder for fulfilling the pledge of 244 million towards the Ajoba project for education. As you know, education is under total lockdown, but when we resume, at least the students in this area will have classrooms to go to. Away from that, we now turn our attention to the Indian Association of Uganda this week too, having urged business communities to come up with strategies of working within the COVID-19 era. The chairperson, Indian Association of Uganda, Rao Wuhan, says despite the COVID-19 pandemic, Uganda has safely guarded her people with the great leadership of President Museveni.
Uganda has been described as a country of peace following the able leadership of President Yoweri Museveni. In an interview with the chairperson, Indian Association of Uganda, Rao Mohan thanked the president for containing the COVID-19 pandemic, thus safeguarding Ugandans against the virus.
I'd like to thank His Excellency President to run our business smoothly. As I always say, 3 P's: peaceful, profitable, and prosperous. At the challenging time of COVID-19 and anticipating recovery from the situation. So while we continue pursuing our efforts, we do pledge to improve our businesses, promote economic growth, and stand with Uganda as we comfort the challenge of COVID-19.
However, Rao Mohan says COVID-19 has led to the decline in some businesses, thus urging the business community to prove that they can work with the virus.
Due to this pandemic of COVID-19, most of the business run out of cash flows. Almost, I can say, 30% of businesses are closed. And Another 20% of business are about to close down due to the pandemic. Fellow business people, be patient. Systems will come and business will become normal.
He asked government to bail out struggling businesses, especially those with loans. Kayumba Stephen, UBC.
Well, thank you so much, Kayumba Stephen, for that report. Now we get to have a commercial break as the news roundup returns with business details.
I smile when I think of you, Uganda, my home. My home, I dance when I look at you, Uganda, my home. Oh, my Uganda.
I know, with you I'll always stay forever. I know, because I feel that we belong together, my home. On my heart, mommy, oh my Uganda.
Hey, mama.
At MTN, we look forward to starting another exciting journey together to grow our home, Uganda.
Getting GoTV was the best decision James has ever made. Finding a good place to watch football was never easy, but it was costly. Until James discovered something big. Now he can finally enjoy the benefits of homegrown advantage with a decoder and 1 month of GoTV Valley. For just 25,000 shillings, enjoy the world's biggest leagues and cup competitions. GoTV Uganda, love it.
The Uganda Cranes national football team continue their bid to qualify for the much-anticipated World Cup in Qatar 2022 with a game against Rwanda.
I encourage all Ugandans to watch our game versus Rwanda. Of course, it's a regional derby. It's going to be tough, but it's about preparations and who wants it more.
The training is very good. We are very prepared. We're ready to go on Saturday and pick the 3 points in Kigali, Rwanda. Fans, support us.
Support our boys from the comfort of your home with friends and family as Uganda takes on Rwanda on the 10th of October at St. Mary's Chitende Stadium starting 4 p.m. Uganda Cranes Paka Qatar with Airtel, the official sponsor of the Uganda Cranes football team.
Good morning, Mr. Murisa. My name is Dr. Buramu, the district veterinary officer here.
Good to meet you. Doctor, we are facing a big challenge of foot and mouth disease here.
Don't worry. I have an important message for you today. Foot and mouth disease is causing a serious impact on your livelihoods, but it can be stopped. You as a farmer has the biggest role to play to ensure your livestock remains healthy. Your animals are your livelihood, and so you need to take every action possible to guard your business, your livelihood, and your family. Animal quarantines fuel poverty, and they will continue if we do not protect our farms from such infections, what we vets call farm biosecurity. The government is doing everything possible to control animal diseases, especially FMD, but needs your help, Mr. Murisa. Healthy animals are more productive and will open better and higher value markets for you nationally, regionally, and for international exports. The foundation for better animal health is to ensure your livestock are fed and watered well. Your animals will grow and not suffer from less disease if you also provide supplementary feeding. You need to feed your livestock on silage, hay, and forage instead of complete free range that exposes them to diseases. Increased production of your livestock will mean better household incomes, well-nourished animals, high productivity, and a health herd.
This message is brought to you by...
These days, our homes are no longer just the places we live. It's where we attend meetings, go to class, keep each other safe, and entertain ourselves. To do this smoothly, you need a reliable internet connection. Connect your home online with MTN WakaNet Max, a fast and reliable home internet solution to power your streaming, gaming, online classes, work, and CCTV security cameras. The MTN WakaNet Max starter kit comes with a free 4G router, SIM card, and 35 GB bundle with no validity, all at 245,000 Uganda shillings. Visit any MTN service center to sign up.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Welcome back. It is 4 minutes to 2 p.m. Now, in case you've just tuned in to UBC, this is our weekly news roundup. And now we get to turn to business. My name is Priscila Nalwoga. On to business, the political leadership of Jinja City Council this very same week has commended government's support in the rehabilitation of various roads that has given a new facelift to the city. This was during the inspection of over 9 roads in Southern Division, Jinja City, and these were constructed under the US WID, the central government, and also with local revenue. Let's take a look at this accountability report.
25 roads in Jinja City are to be completed and handed over to the authority by next year, 2022. The major ones include Jinja Main Street, Engineers Soka Road, and Kimaka Bypass, among others. However, residents and councillors are not happy with the roadside lighting system as well as the poor drainage system. Jinja Mayor Alton Kasolo promised to resolve the challenges in the city. These roads include Bell Avenue, Mangwa Crescent, and Elizabeth Road.
We're looking at handing over 9 roads in Southern Division by 5th of January.
360 million. But not only for this one, for about 5-6 roads.
2 garbage trucks have been acquired to beef up garbage challenge in the city Jinja. Irene Faith Nantongo, UBC News.
Saving the best for the last, our national team, the Uganda Cranes, are yet up to another task. On Thursday, they were in Rwanda, Kigali, and they beat up Mavuri Stars 1-0. The return leg is on at 4 p.m. and we shall be broadcasting it live here on UBC as well as Star TV. So let us support the Uganda Cranes from home by cutting up on those matches. All the best to the boys as they give us an aftermath of our independence celebrations. Overall, thank you so much for having watched UBC News Roundup this week. Keep to our social medias to follow up on everything that happens between now and the next time of the bulletin. For now, I remain Priscila Nalwoga. Have yourselves a wonderful Sunday and a brand new week.
Getting GoTV was the best decision James has ever made. Finding a good place to watch football was never easy, but it was costly. Until James discovered something big. Now he can finally enjoy the benefits of homegrown advantage with a decoder and 1 month of GoTV value. For just 25,000 shillings, enjoy the world's biggest leagues and cap competitions. GoTV Uganda, love it.
Airtel Uganda has the best and most affordable rates when it comes to withdrawing and sending money. Withdraw money for as low as 330 shillings up to a maximum of 12,500 shillings. Sending money is just as affordable as ever. Absolutely unbeatable. Use Airtel Money on the most affordable network with the largest network of Airtel Money branches in Uganda. Dial *185# to get started. Airtel Money. Simple, secure, borderless.